Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Maximilian College Basketball Picks and Analysis for Monday, January 19th. I'm your host, Max Hofmeyer, and I've got 3 games to go over for Monday's MLK Marathon. And if you are someone who is off work and looking to enjoy some hoops on MLK Day here, nice little marathon we have. Not used to having Monday games. Usually the last couple of Mondays have been dead. So that's why we're doing an episode here, first Monday episode. But yeah, last show, 4-1 on Saturday. Wish I, did better on my personal card, but for the show, at least picked the right ones. UNC Asheville and Samford absolutely fought tooth and nail to backdoor cover those. So got a little fortunate there, not giving up. And the Johnnies absolutely humming here. They fixed the defensive rebounding, which I talked about on the last episode, and they have really turned a corner. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and get started for today's episode. And for the first play, we got what should be the game of the day here in the A10. George Mason, George Washington here, and Mason's laying 3.5 at home. George Mason, they're part of the three-way tie at 5-0 for the conference with Dayton and St. Louis. They're 16-1, but they've certainly been on the right side of some record luck here. Projected, 12-5 record, and their 5-0 conference record grades out more like a 3-2 or 4-1, and that's been thanks to 29% allowed from deep. And I think that's more of a testament to their poor A10 competition. 4 of the 5 teams they've played in the A10 have ranked 288th or worse in three-point percentage. So, they've been fortunate to face some pretty bad shooting teams, and they just won't have that luxury here. George Washington shoots 36% from deep on the year and 38% conference play. So George Washington, their team, they take great shots, 5th in rim and 3 rate. And, that measures the amount and frequency that teams shoot at either the rim or from deep, which, are considered high quality attempts, avoiding the dreaded mid-range. And George Washington coming off a loss here to Davidson, but they were actually expected to win that one by 19. So I think, it's a good bounce back spot here. George Mason, they're a good team, don't get me wrong, but I certainly think they're overrated. They did play a 344th ranked non-con schedule, so they just have not been tested much. So I'm going to go ahead and take George Washington here, plus a 3.5 for the first play. And for the second play, heading to the Ivy, where Dartmouth is hosting Princeton. And if you caught the Princeton game on Saturday, they absolutely blew it to Harvard. They were up 10 with under 3 minutes left and ended up losing by 7 in overtime, and also failing to cover the plus 4.5, which I sadly had. But nonetheless, still worth mentioning, this Princeton team has been playing much better of late, about 11 points better per 100 possessions in their last 5 compared to the season. And the reasoning is pretty simple. They recently got Dalen Davis back, their point guard, for Ivy League play. And, in his 3 games under his return, they're 2-1, which, it should be a 3-0 if they don't blow that last game. And one of the wins was they upset Yale, who has been dominating the Ivies. So they've just been playing much better. And, I just think this Princeton team is really underrated in the market. And I think they bounce back here versus a Dartmouth team that has been pretty lucky. They're 2-1 in conference play, despite being projected, 0-2 based on the quality shots taken in those. So I'm going to take Princeton plus the 1 here to get it done for play number 2. And for the final play, the real reason you are here, we got Chicago State and New Haven. I may have jumped the gun earlier when I said George Washington, George Mason was the game of the day, but no, obviously joking here, but all tickets cash the same. So I am seeing some value here in this one. And New Haven shockingly has a winning conference record here, 3-2, including back-to-back wins on their home floor. However, I am shocked because we expect this team to be more, 1-5 range in conference play. So certainly been a little lucky of late. And Chicago State, on the other hand, 0-5 in NEC play. So this will certainly be their best chance to get on the board. And, this spot kind of reminds me to the play we made last week with Pepperdine, who was winless in conference play and got to host Portland and ended up getting it done. And, a lot of those same principles apply here. So, I don't think New Haven should be favored on the road versus anyone in their conference, after some lucky performances too at home. So, going on the road now here, I am going to go ahead and fade them and take Chicago State plus the 1.5 for the final play. And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe as you don't want to miss any future episodes. Enjoy your MLK Day, and as always, best of luck on the plays.